just wanted to do a kind of quick video looking at the acoustic simulator thing, which is new for 3.0. I think it's based on Boss AC2 or something like that. It's got a few different things going on. So we've got a couple of modes. The one that I've used for this video is called Jumbo. So yeah, there's various modes. I've dropped this preset into my folder already, but let's just see. So that's standard. It's Jumbo, Enhance, and then Piezo. So those make small kind of differences. I think Jumbo's the one that I like the most. So I've turned the body up to, quite a way, and the top, and then the shimmer apparently affects kind of the amount of kind of top end harmonics and the way they affect other strings. So you get kind of, let's see if we can tell a real difference. And then so basically it's giving you a little bit more movement. One of the kind of key things to this is to kind of modify your playing style to something more like you would play if you were actually playing an acoustic. I think part of getting semi-realistic results out of this is to play the guitar like you're actually playing an acoustic as well. I think one of the things that generally I'd have on an acoustic guitar is acoustic guitar is I'd have thicker strings. So I'm trying to play a little bit more lightly than I would usually on the electric, because obviously if you've heard an acoustic guitar with really thin strings, when you pick hard and stuff, it does a not particularly pleasant thing. The other thing to bear in mind is that I'm not running this into any kind of amp. Generally, when we play live with an acoustic or record with an acoustic, we don't put it into an electric guitar amp. So when I'm doing that with the Helix, I would suggest the same thing. So don't run it into an amp. You could run it into an acoustic IR. Now I haven't tried that, but basically there's IRs of different acoustic things. I don't know exactly what they are. Maybe I'll look into it at some stage, but yeah. The other thing is that generally, I think with an acoustic guitar, you don't hear kind of crazy prominent effects. So what I've done is I've put a memory man delay down on the parallel path, and I've also stuck like a hall reverb, kind of just to get some of that hall sound as well. And although the mix is relatively high on these, they're on a parallel path, so it's not crazy. And then at the end I've put this stereo imager, which I think is new, just to kind of try and get a bit of stereo-ness. And then I've got here something that I can kick on, the double. You'll notice also that you get quite a lot of buzz from a screen. I think that's because they've boosted the kind of top end. So if you're sat near your PC screen, you're probably going to get some not so pleasant sounds. But so move away from your screen if you are getting that, because things like 50 cycle hum do come through quite badly through the Acoustic Guitar Sim. As you can hear. So yeah, those are the things that I'd suggest for getting some good results out of the Acoustic Sim. Modify your playing style slightly. An electric guitar is obviously substantially different to an acoustic. Try and keep the delay and reverb sort of natural, because generally when you hear an acoustic guitar there's not crazy amounts of effects on them, I don't think anyway. And this stereo imager can kind of help to spread things a little bit. And then also the TC mimic kind of thing. Potentially if you were going to take like a solo on an acoustic or something, you could kick that in. Another thing I guess to notice about acoustic guitar is that generally there's a lot of low end and a lot of high end, and that's kind of why it sort of works as a bit of like a rhythm instrument when you hear it in a mix. I guess it can be a bit boomy when you hear it by itself or even in a mix. So you might want to EQ things a little bit and maybe take off some low end, or like I say, you could consider an acoustic IR. But so that's what I was using there. I was also using for some of the lead tones this JC Ice preset, which I put together. And so what I've done for this is I've got a glitch delay, but what I'm doing is finding one where, so set up the sequence drift until you get a high octave. Yeah, I've missed it. And then it's doing that kind of. I really like that effect. So if you want to try that out, that's also in the Helix folder of 3.0. But what you'll need to do, I think generally you'll have to move the sequence drift until you can hear that octave coming through, and then move it back. So sequence drift means that it's basically cycling through different sequences all the time. So some of those, because we've got the octaves right up, will be low octaves, and some of those will be high octaves. So I'm going and finding a high octave in the sequence drift and then coming back to 0% to stop any sequence drift, so it just stays on the high octave. Because the glitch delay is random, I don't think you can't save it with that high octave. So let me try and save that. Yeah, so it goes back down. So each time that you load this up, you would have to do that little sequency drift thing, which is not a big deal, but you could also assign that to a foot pedal if you wanted to. But yeah, thank you for stopping by. Those presets will be in that folder if you want them, and yeah, you can get that in the description. But that's just how I was getting those tones that you heard in the opening. Hopefully that was interesting. I'll catch you for another video soon. I think I'm going to do something more on the polysustain later on. Catch you in a bit.